Then there was another rumor that she was not only pregnant, but potentially pregnant by a young baller, basketball player.
A young baller.
That was the quote that was in the news. It said a young baller. I'm assuming they meant basketball player.
Vanessa Bryant's name and her romantic life have dominated headlines all week, but no one expected LeBron James to wade into the chatter. The NBA icon reportedly unmasked, the man said to be both her new partner and the father of her rumored baby. And if whispers of him being a rising young player sounded far-fetched before, they suddenly don't seem so unbelievable. I've got the scoop on who he is and why his identity is sparking serious backlash. The internet went into meltdown mode as the basketball community reeled from what some are calling one of the most shocking revelations in recent NBA memory. What began as casual speculation about Vanessa's private life quickly snowballed into bold claims that LeBron James himself had finally spoken up, with details powerful enough to rattle the very core of Lakers lore. It all started in early June 2025, when quiet rumors surfaced suggesting Vanessa might be expecting her fifth child while dating a younger NBA talent. At first, it sounded like the usual swirl of celebrity gossip, but everything changed when the narrative shifted, not from an anonymous source or a vague leak, but from the suggestion that LeBron, who has stayed publicly respectful of the Bryants since Kobe's passing, had decided this was the moment to break his silence. Is this helpful so far?
The internet has been crazy the last couple of days about this Vanessa Bryant story. I know y'all have heard it at this point. There was a rumor going on for the last 3 or 4 days that Vanessa Bryant, the widow of Kobe Bryant, was pregnant. Then there was another rumor that she was not only pregnant, but potentially pregnant by a young baller, basketball player.
A young baller.
That was the quote that was in the news. It said a young baller. I'm assuming they meant basketball player.
Early whispers about the situation were deliberately vague, pointing only to a younger NBA player, often pegged at 27, without naming names. But as social media chatter swelled, the picture sharpened, and the alleged source made jaws drop. That source, LeBron James. This wasn't just any player. This was a man whose career has been built not only on dominance on the court, but on meticulous image control and diplomatic finesse. For him to allegedly disclose private details about Kobe Bryant's widow marked a dramatic departure from the restraint he's shown for decades, and from the deep respect he's always maintained toward the Bryant family. Then came the bombshell. According to insiders, the player in question was Jaylen Brown. The timing made the reveal even more explosive. Vanessa Bryant, who lost Kobe and their daughter Gianna in the January 2020 helicopter crash, now raises their 3 surviving daughters, Natalia 22, Bianca 8, and Capri 5. Since that tragedy, she's crafted a public image centered on family, philanthropy, and preserving Kobe's legacy through the Mamba and Mambacita Sports Foundation. Her transformation from a private figure to a public torchbearer for Kobe's memory has been closely watched, with every move from business ventures to Instagram posts analyzed by millions. So the idea that she might now be romantically linked to another NBA player, and that LeBron James could be the one to break that news, hit the basketball community at its most sensitive point. The claim carried the weight of possible insider knowledge, amplifying the shock. Content creators pounced, flooding the internet with sensational headlines and videos framing this as LeBron's long-awaited disclosure about Vanessa's personal life. But the story's stakes went far beyond gossip. This touched on the fragile equilibrium within the Lakers organization, where Kobe's influence still casts a long shadow. Any suggestion that LeBron might be straying from the unwritten code of respect and discretion he's held with the Bryants risked upsetting one of the most significant alliances in franchise history. The rumors gained traction precisely because they built on real connections. LeBron has consistently shown public support for Vanessa and her daughters, sharing warm moments at events like the 2023 NBA All-Star Game. His history with Kobe, a mix of mentorship, rivalry, and mutual admiration, only deepened the credibility for those eager to believe he had privileged insight, and the Jaylen Brown angle added another twist. As a star for the Boston Celtics, the Lakers' most storied rival, his alleged involvement hinted at symbolic ripples far beyond personal relationships. For some fans, it wasn't just about who Vanessa might be dating. It was about whether this choice could subtly shift how the Bryant family's loyalty to the Lakers' legacy is perceived. The online reaction was swift, polarized, and impossible to ignore.
So we know that part's not true. What's interesting to me, though, is people's reaction to it. People were bent out of shape, especially dudes were like really bent out of shape at the idea that Vanessa Bryant could be.
The intense, almost visceral reaction from fans revealed more than just curiosity. It laid bare how deeply people tie Vanessa Bryant's identity to her role as Kobe's widow. What unfolded went well beyond sports gossip, touching on cultural currents that run far deeper than basketball. The discourse forced an uncomfortable spotlight on the way society views widowhood, especially when it comes to prominent women of color, and how expectations about loyalty, grief, and public behavior are often projected onto them without consent. The intense, almost visceral reaction from fans revealed more than just curiosity. It laid bare how deeply people tie Vanessa Bryant's identity to her role as Kobe's widow. What unfolded went well beyond sports gossip, touching on cultural currents that run far deeper than basketball. The discourse forced an uncomfortable spotlight on the way society views widowhood, especially when it comes to prominent women of color, and how expectations about loyalty, grief, and public behavior are often projected onto them without consent.
It's just because we know some here are able to help the family without getting in the bed with the girl.
Wait, so because I'm fascinated by these rules, because even Parks got a rule. You're like you're okay with it as long as.
The rumored revelation struck a nerve within the deep-rooted history of Lakers rivalries. LeBron and Kobe's relationship had always been a layered mix of competition and mentorship, and the idea that LeBron might be leaking personal details about Kobe's widow injected new drama into an already intricate legacy. It wasn't just celebrity gossip anymore, it hinted at possible cracks in the carefully preserved bridge between the Bryant legacy and the Lakers' current era. What these discussions really laid bare was the unwritten code that governs relationships tied to beloved public figures, especially those who have passed away. If LeBron truly was the source, it raised hard questions about where loyalty ends, where privacy begins, and how far public figures should go in speaking about one another's personal lives. The rumors gained even more traction when online videos claimed LeBron had confronted Vanessa about her pregnancy during an Instagram Live session, a supposed real-time clash between two of the most influential figures in Lakers history. A confrontation, if real, would have been unprecedented in the modern NBA. A current superstar publicly challenging the personal choices of a legendary predecessor's widow. The implications were enormous. Depending on perspective, it could be seen either as an act of remarkable courage in defending a legacy, or as a stunning breach of trust and protocol. Social media's amplification turned sparks into a wildfire. TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook swelled with breakdowns of every interaction between LeBron and Vanessa, with old photos and clips pulled from archives and reframed as evidence. Every handshake, smile, or glance was reinterpreted for signs of tension or insider knowledge. Fans went into detective mode, building timelines and elaborate theories, connecting dots that might not have existed. The frenzy grew so intense that even international outlets picked up the story. What might have stayed niche NBA gossip was now part of a global conversation on privacy, loyalty, and the obligations of those connected to iconic legacies. Even old, unrelated moments, such as Vanessa ending the Bryant estate's Nike deal in 2021 or the tone of her memorial speech for Kobe, were suddenly re-examined for hidden meaning. When anticipation for her response reached its peak, Vanessa flipped the script in a way few expected. She skipped the press conference, skipped the formal statement, and went straight to Instagram stories, an ephemeral, casual medium that felt both personal and unfiltered. Her first post, a meme of Rihanna flipping off the camera with the caption, "Me protecting my peace, not pregnant, and having fun all summer," was pure defiance. It didn't just deny the rumors, it dismissed them entirely. By choosing the phrase, "protecting my peace," Vanessa reframed the conversation around self-care rather than rumor control. She wasn't playing defense. She was refusing to play the game at all. Her follow-up meme, "I'm not mean, I'm just not the one," added another layer, pushing back against criticism of her boundaries and reinforcing that strength isn't meanness, it's wisdom. Her final post, a quote reading, "The only way to impress me is by being a good person. I don't care what you have, what you wear, where you live, or what you drive," landed like a direct hit on the entire narrative. It subtly rejected the idea that status, fame, or basketball ties could sway her, making the alleged LeBron angle feel irrelevant and hollow. The internet's response split sharply. On X, formerly Twitter, some users praised her privacy and clapped back at the obsession, while others continued parsing every frame for hidden meaning. Reddit's pop culture discussions dug deeper, analyzing not just the denial but the method, applauding how she dismantled the controversy. Without directly naming names, her silence on the LeBron-specific allegations was perhaps her sharpest move. By refusing to even acknowledge them, she both undermined their credibility and reclaimed full control of the narrative. In the end, she turned a global storm into a masterclass on boundary setting. In the age of digital spectacle,
you're not supposed to, if your wife passed away, you're not supposed to best friend, because that's just what it is.
The blunt conversations swirling online, questioning why some believe helping a grieving family should come with personal entanglements, shone a light on the unspoken, and often unfair, rules placed on women, especially widows. This was the cultural backdrop that made Vanessa Bryant's response land with such force. Her posts weren't just witty or stylish. They were an open defiance of the notion that she owed the world an explanation for her choices. The timing of her reply only amplified its impact. She released the memes while at Disneyland with her daughters, Bianca and Capri, a choice loaded with visual symbolism. Surrounded by the joy and innocence of a family day out, Vanessa made it clear that her focus was on building happy memories for her children, not getting sucked into online toxicity. The wholesome backdrop stood in sharp contrast to the swirling rumors, underlining her priorities without a single direct statement. Mainstream outlets like Us Weekly, E! News, and TMZ raced to cover her posts, framing them as a firm denial while spotlighting her emphasis on privacy and family. Yet, the coverage exposed an interesting gap. Traditional media seemed ill-equipped to process a response that didn't fit neatly into standard crisis management playbooks. Memes, ephemeral, layered, and deeply personal, resisted the typical soundbite analysis. Internationally, the tone shifted. Publications such as The Times of India praised the brilliance of her approach, noting how she dismantled speculation with dignity and tact. In their framing, this wasn't just about shutting down rumors. It was a textbook example of modern public strategy. The global acknowledgement of her media savvy showed that her response had moved beyond a Lakers or NBA story. It had become a universal lesson in controlling your own narrative, no matter how loud the noise around you.
It's just right though.
I see saying Stevie J was wild for marrying Faith.
Why? Because he worked with Big before?
Because of the whole Big relationship.
The candid discussions about double standards in Vanessa Bryant's situation exposed why her response resonated so strongly. By rejecting the idea that she owed the public an explanation, she dismantled the core belief that women in the spotlight, especially widows, must justify their private choices to maintain respect. Her approach instantly shifted the narrative from salacious speculation to admiration for her poise and control. What began as an attempt to damage her brand ended with a textbook example of how to turn a PR threat into a personal and professional victory. Vanessa's strategy was deliberate from start to finish. By choosing Instagram stories, fleeting posts that vanish after 24 hours, she was making a statement. The controversy was worth no more than a temporary flicker of attention. To the rumor mill, it felt like an earthquake. To her, it warranted nothing permanent. That choice alone reframed the power dynamic, signaling that she, not the gossip cycle, decided the scale and seriousness of the conversation. Her children were clearly central to the plan, answering with humor and confidence instead of defensiveness. Or outrage modeled emotional intelligence and strength for her daughters. Posting memes while at Disneyland with Bianca and Capri created a powerful visual, a mother prioritizing joy and family while the world tried to drag her into chaos. By the time the dust settled, Vanessa had done more than silence the immediate rumors. She'd set new boundaries for how her personal life could be discussed and established a cultural moment in the process. The Rihanna memes became rallying symbols for privacy and self-protection, shared millions of times worldwide. In contrast, the once explosive LeBron James allegations now looked flimsy and manufactured in the face of her unshakable composure. But what the public saw was only the surface of a far more intricate reality. Behind the scenes lay a network of alliances, power moves, and strategic positioning that had been shaping the NBA landscape for years. The pregnancy rumors and LeBron angle weren't organic internet gossip. They were pressure tactics tied to high-stakes business negotiations. With her independent control over the Bryant estate and the Mamba brand, Vanessa occupies a rare position of influence, separate from the Lakers organization or its star players. Sources suggest the timing of the smear was calculated, emerging as several key deals were nearing completion. The LeBron connection served multiple purposes, lending credibility to the gossip, risking tension between Lakers leadership and the Bryant family, and testing Vanessa's ability to handle public controversy without losing negotiating leverage. The entire episode, insiders say, was a stress test for both her media savvy and her alliances. Her counterattack wasn't improvised. Advisors ranging from PR experts to data analysts and former intelligence operatives reportedly helped craft the meme strategy. It was designed not only to neutralize the false narrative, but to turn it into an asset, reinforcing her independence, sharpening her public image, and preserving vital relationships. Unexpectedly, the attempt to drive a wedge between her and LeBron may have had the opposite effect. Lakers insiders say his camp now has even more respect for her, seeing her as a strategic thinker with the discipline to protect both personal and organizational interests. Generationally, the episode leaves an imprint beyond the headlines. Vanessa's oldest daughter, Natalia, witnessed a masterclass in leadership and crisis management, lessons in how to defend one's reputation while controlling the conversation on your own terms. Legally, there may still be fallout. The sophistication of the smear campaign points toward coordinated actors, making defamation claims and investigations into the origins of the falsehoods a real possibility. But whether or not the legal angle develops, the bigger picture is already clear. This was never just about rumors. It was about power, influence, and the modern battlefield of reputation management. In the end, Vanessa Bryant didn't just survive the attack, she redefined how such attacks should be handled, setting a new gold standard for crisis response in the digital age.